Hey, YVBS, Kaz and Ian here, ready to do another lesson. Today we got a lesson on reading rhythms, the rhythm tree, different subdivisions, really important stuff for music. So let's jump into it. Young voices. All right. First thing, let's talk about a time signature. In music, we have something called a time signature, and at the top of your music sheet, it will look like what you see on the screen right here. A time signature tells you how many beats are in a measure, and it also tells you what kind of beats you have. Like, what is a beat? What do you count as a beat? 4/4 is the most common time signature, and usually for YVBS, when we're talking about time signatures, it's going to be 4/4, and what that means is there's four beats in a measure, so you can always count on that. And then the beat, when we say beat, what is a beat? A heartbeat, it's a quarter note, 1/4. That's why there's a four down there. So that's what that means. Um, and what it really means is that every measure has to add up to four beats. Next slide. Um, this is just like how if you want to make $1 and you have change, you have to add them up using different types of change to add up to $1. Um, so look at this brain challenge. How can you use different combinations of coins to make $1? Right? So there's a couple good examples up there. You could have 4/4. That makes $1. You could have 10 dimes. You got any other ones, Ian? What else could we do?
Okay, 2 quarters and 5 dimes.
2/4, that's 50 cents, and 5 dimes, that's 50. Okay, so that's $1, right? Okay, you could do, let's see, five nickels, that's 25 cents, 1/4 and 5 dimes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Cool. Next slide. Um, so now if you look at this sheet, this is our rhythm tree, and in music, these are like our coins, right? We have all these different coins to work with, and we're trying to add up to $1. But in this case, it's not $1, it's four beats. Every measure uses these different notes to add up to four beats. When I'm pointing at the camera, I'm not pointing at you, by the way. I'm pointing at at the screen. Um, so let's go through this. We got at the top, we got whole note, half notes underneath that. And then underneath that, we got quarter notes, eighth notes, and sixteenths. And if you look at the whole bottom half of this sheet, it's all the rests, right? Let's demonstrate this. I'll put my computer down. Oh, my headphones got unplugged. So let's just demonstrate this rhythm tree real quick. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole, half, half, quarter, 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 quarter. Eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note. Alabama, 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 Alabama. Triplet, 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 triplet. Yeah. Now I added in triplets because in YVBS we like to add triplets right after the 16th notes. Triplets, there's three of them per beat instead of four like a 16th note. So that's our rhythm tree, and then you can see the rests, what they would look like below. The rests get the same amount of time, but instead of playing a note, you don't play a note. So if I was going to play that rhythm tree down there, it would just be going like this, not making any noise, right? So rests are just silences. All right, should we move on? All right, real quick, you can see right here all the different ways that those different subdivisions, whole notes, quarter notes, half notes, etc., how they look in music, like in a real song. They would look something like this, right? You have what you call the staff. That's the lines that go across, 5 lines, parallel lines across. And then the notes are in the staff somewhere. You got the notes, you got the rests. Here you can even see at the very bottom right-hand corner, you can see our triplets and what they look like. Cool, let's move on. All right, so real quick brain challenge again. Let's do it again, but instead of using coins and adding up to $1, we're going to do what we said, and we're going to use our subdivisions, our notes, and add them up to four beats. So let me do one first. Let's say in four beats we could have two eighth notes, and then a quarter note, and then two more eighth notes, and then three triplets. That adds up. The way I did that, it was beat by beat. So I went one beat at a time. I went, my first beat is two eighth notes. That's one beat. Then I added another beat, a quarter note. Then I added another beat, two more eighth notes. And then I added one more beat, three triplets. What about you, Ian? You got one?
Cool. So I'll go eighth note, eighth. I'll do 2 8 notes and a quarter note rest. Then I'll do 2 8 notes and a quarter note. So mine would sound like eighth note rest, eighth note quarter.
Nice, nice. Cool. Do it at home, guys. See if you can think of your own. Make sure they add up to 4 beats, though. All right, so here is our first little example of how you would put all of these things together to make an actual rhythm. Let's read through one of these real quick. And actually, no, before we read through, let's talk about measures and bars. If you look at this sheet, there are actually measure numbers on it. Measure 1 isn't labeled, but if you go down to the second line, you can see there it says 5 right there. And that's because that is measure 5. That's the beginning of measure 5. Line 1 has measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, and measure 4. Then when you get to that second line, that's measure 5. As you keep going down, you can see it numbers measure 9 on line 3. It numbers measure 13 on line 4. Right? So in general, if I'm ever trying to point to you, oh, let's play this part, let's do this part, I'm going to try to use those measure numbers. And in this case, they're written on there, but sometimes they won't be, and you kind of have to count in your head. Let's just do an example of one of these lines. I'm going to do measure 13. I'm going to do that whole line, measure 13, 14, 15, and 16. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note, quarter, quarter, quarter. Eighth note, quarter, quarter, quarter. Eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, quarter. Nice. Should we move on to the actual challenge for this assignment, Ian? All right. So use that other sheet maybe to practice up if you want to a little bit, but this is our actual assignment for now. The way we want you to do this assignment is to go one line at a time, just 4 measures at a time. Go through, play it, and stop, and then start again. And since there's no teacher around with you, you're going to have to count yourself in. So you're going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start, right, for yourself. Stop after each line, and then the big challenge at the end is, can you read the whole sheet from the beginning to the end without stopping? So that's your challenge at the end, but start by going slow and doing 1 line at a time. We're going to go through the whole sheet right now. Here we go. Line 1, measure 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest. Eighth note, rest. Eighth note, quarter, quarter. Students, notice that I'm saying everything out loud. When it's a quarter note, I say quarter. When it's an eighth note, I say eighth note for all the eighth notes. And if it's a rest, I'm kind of whispering rest. Cool? Let's do line 2. This is measure 5. Line 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Quarter, quarter. Eighth note, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Rest. Quarter, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, quarter, quarter. Nice. Line 3. Now we're at the part where it says example 2, but this is line 3. Measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note, quarter. Eighth note, quarter, quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Eighth note, quarter, quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Nice. Let's get on to line 4. We're going to just keep blazing through here. 1, 2, 3. Line 4. Quarter. Actually, I said the wrong thing. Let me try that again. Line 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter, rest. Eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest. Eighth note, quarter. Eighth note, rest. Eighth note, rest. Eighth note, quarter, quarter, quarter. Nice. Example 3. This is line 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, quarter, rest. Eighth note, rest. Quarter, quarter, eighth note, rest. Quarter, eighth note, quarter, rest. Quarter, quarter, eighth note. Nice. It's getting challenging. It's getting a little more complicated as we go. Line 6. Here's line 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Nice. One easy thing about this is it's pretty much just quarter notes and eighth notes. Once you get the hang of quarter notes and eighth notes and rest, you can do this. All right, what line are we on? Line 7, where it says example 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter, quarter, rest. Eighth note, quarter, rest. Eighth note, quarter. Eighth note, quarter, rest. Eighth note, quarter, quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Nice. Line 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Quarter, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Eighth note, quarter. Quarter, quarter, quarter. Eighth note. All right. Example 5. Line 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note, rest, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, rest, rest. Quarter. Eighth note, quarter. quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter. Nice. That one's tricky. It has double rests, right? Rests 2 in a row. All right, and the last line, line 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter, rest, rest. Eighth note, quarter, rest. Eighth note, quarter, 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 quarter. Eighth note, quarter, rest. Nice. So that's the whole sheet. Now I'm going to do it one more time from the top to the bottom, but without stopping. All right, this is your final challenge. If you can do this, you're definitely getting pretty good at this stuff. All right, here we go from the top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest, eighth note, rest, eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, rest, quarter, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter. Example 2. Eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest, eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, rest, eighth note, rest, eighth note, quarter, quarter. Example 3. Rest, quarter, rest, eighth note, rest, quarter, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note, Example 4. Quarter, quarter, rest, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, rest, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, quarter, 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 quarter. Example 5. Eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, eighth note, rest, quarter, eighth note, quarter, quarter, rest, eighth note, quarter, rest, eighth note, quarter, 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 eighth note, quarter, rest. Cool. So that's the whole thing. It's challenging, guys. If you can do that, I'm going to be impressed. But I know you can. So good luck working on that, and looking forward to seeing all your assignments.